Hello and welcome to AJ Paints. I'm Andy. In this video I'll show you how I've been painting the Lamentors, new adversaries from the brand new board game by Battle Systems, Maladum. This is my first go at these miniatures and I've tried 3 different paint schemes that you might like to have a go at yourself. I've started by undercoating in black, and then my first layer is going to be applied with a dry brush, and I'm choosing a medium to dark colour. On the left I've got a grey, on the right a bone colour. Next you'll want to choose a highlight colour. The brighter you make it, the more impact it'll have on the tabletop. I'm not dry brushing everywhere on the miniature, but concentrating more on the top right hand sides as if there was a light shining down from there. You can see really clearly on this bone coloured example the light on the face, on the top right hand shoulder, and on that knee just sticking out forwards. The back leg is significantly darker. With most of my tutorials I like to leave it at a point where you could just say that's done, so these would be okay. Bone colour on the right, the grey colour here on the middle, and one I've not shown you yet, my favourite one actually, which is a more bluey grey colour. That's dark sea blue by Vallejo, and then right up to a pale grey blue as the bright highlight. If you want to take it a bit further, then you can try painting in the glow on the inside of the creatures. In this case, I'm using a really thin white ink and just painting it into all of the recesses. If you look at the original artwork, you'll notice that the glow seems to be coming mostly from the center of the Lamentors. It comes out through their mouths and it's also on their limbs. So I'm just finding any creases, any places where I can put that white to eventually turn into the glow. So here are mine finished with the white base coats for the glow. You can pause this if you want to see for reference where I put my glow points, but anywhere in the creases is fine. For my first experiment I tried using contrast paints. You could use inks as well. I used a yellow and a red. In this case you want to try to brush in and just fill up all of those white spaces that you've done with the yellow, and then starting to work over the top with the red. I thinned mine down a little bit and brushed down towards where I wanted the brightest red, so I got a sort of a mixture of the orange in the middle. Here's the result of that experiment. It looks absolutely fine. It's not super bright, but you do get that glowing effect. The next thing I tried was some fluorescent paints and a bit of Vallejo red as well. Orange and yellow. Unfortunately in this video I haven't got any footage of me painting just the final blobs on with the yellow, but you'll get the final, you'll get the idea. Okay, you can see me here working in with the Vallejo red. It's kind of a pinky red. I'm painting it in where I want the red bits, but I'm leaving some white where I want the brightest highlights to be. And then coming back in with the orange. Now at this point it doesn't look like there's a great difference, but the more you brush that orange in and bring it down back into that wet red, then it starts to mix together. I thinned down the orange slightly. The Vallejo fluoro paints, they're a bit sort of jelly-like. They're a bit annoying to work with, to be honest, but you'll get a really good effect if you use inks. The key to selling the glow effect is to get the light bits as bright as possible. So although I haven't shown you here, going back in with a really bright fluorescent yellow just on the very tops of those makes a huge difference. There you can see that's with the yellow one as well. It's looking good. So this is my final experiment. These are using Pro Acryl Rogue Hobbies Edition paints. They're very highly pigmented. This was bismuth yellow and I think red hot orange, something like that. Starting off with the bismuth yellow, you can see just how bright it is. This isn't even a fluorescent colour, and that yellow really stands out. Pro Acryl paints are quite thin anyway. I've thinned these down a little bit more, and you can see here I'm brushing away from the brightest point of the yellow and in towards where I want that darker, hotter, warmer red, and just carrying on right throughout the miniature. if you look at the original artwork, you can see that the mouths on the Lamentors, right at the back in the centre, they're quite bright. So I tried to focus my darker orange colours towards the front to give that sort of molten core of magic coming through from the inside. And there we go, final results. You can see the bluish one just on the left there with the fluo paints, the grey one coming around with contrast paints, and this is the bone coloured one with the Pro Acryl, just normal but highly pigmented paints. I quite like the difference between all of them. I think they'll look good like that on the table, but if I was starting to paint them again, I'd go straight for the fluorescent paints and the blue one. And you can see here, I think it looks fantastic. The glow is really strong, it contrasts really well against the blue, and it looks great. If you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I'll have future videos looking at more of the adversaries from Maladum, and if you want to check out some of my other videos, I've got Core Space and Firstborn, also from Battle Systems.